Hello everyone, this is Minty and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are playing Prehistoric Kingdom Early Access, and I have been waiting for this game for so long and I'm so excited to finally have gotten my hands on it. I know it's been a while since I posted my last video and there's a lot of different reasons for that, but I am really feeling I really want to come back to YouTube and I really want to make videos again, and I miss this process so much. So here we are, and I am looking forward to starting this with you guys again. So as you can see here, we are starting with building this building type entrance. It's supposed to be like an entrance area for the guest to enter this park. I did have a reference photo for it, but it didn't really work, so I kind of like winged most of it, and like it was just not working, and like I'm still getting used to the game. Like I've never played this game before. I've played similar games, like Planet Zoo is very similar in the way that you build, except in this game you can actually resize things and make them larger, make them smaller, you can extend them, you can shrink them, you can do so much more, and I find that a little bit overwhelming. Like there's so much you can do and there's so much potential, but I just feel so like stuck with it, I guess, and I don't really know how to do it properly. But like I said, like this is my first ever build, so it's not gonna be perfect. I know that, like it doesn't look that great, but at the end I am pretty happy with it. Like I go back to the building later in this video because I saw that the scaling, it was way too big compared to how big the guests are, but that is something I fix later. So yeah, I'm just currently playing with the settings, seeing how they work and like getting used to it, because it is a lot to just jump into a game you have never played before and just start building something, even with a reference photo. The main focus of this video isn't gonna be building this entrance. It's actually gonna be making a habitat for the Raptor, which I was really excited about when I saw that that was gonna be a thing in the game, like microraptors and smaller creatures that weren't like exactly dinosaurs, but like more on a smaller scale, kind of like exhibit animals are in Planet Zoo. I'm gonna be comparing them a little bit because Planet Zoo is like one of the only games I play that are kind of similar to this. There is Jurassic World, but that's more of a park management games, while Planet Zoo and Prehistoric Kingdom are more building games where you focus on building and creating. There are some taking care of the park aspects and stuff like that, but the main focus is kind of like building and making things look good, I guess. But yeah, you see me adding those doors. I thought they looked fine when I first put them there, but I think they look hideous now looking back at it. Although one of the doors have actually like a little footprint, like a dinosaur footprint on it, and I thought that was so cute and like just really nice detail that I really liked. But I don't end up using those doors because it turns out that guests can't actually walk through doors. You have to like have it open, so I end up deleting them and placing doors, or removing the doors and placing, just having it open instead. Now I am currently working on the exhibit. Another thing I find really great about this game is that you can just, if you have this piece, you can change how the piece looks. Like you can change from wood to plaster to stone, like just by clicking on a different swatch. You don't have to like delete that piece and then find another piece that is like stone, for example, and then use that instead. You can just change it while you have it out. And I thought that was really handy, and like if I regretted something, I could just click on it and change it without having to delete everything and then make it again. So I thought that was really nice. And making fences, like I'm doing now, it was really easy because I could just shrink another fence, like it's the same fence, but I made it smaller, like, and slimmer, and then I could make like a top part. So I thought that really worked really well. And then we have like there's just so much in this game that I want to explore, and I've been waiting for it. Like, I've been seeing other creators make this game, or like create for this game for so long, and I've been wanting it. I didn't get the like early access, or this is early access, but I didn't get the earlier access and stuff like that for it, because it kind of cost a lot, and like I didn't really make a lot of videos at that time, and like we were in the middle of moving and stuff like that, so I didn't really have the like chance to, but I looked at so many videos and it looked so much fun. Like, it's right up my alley. I love dinosaurs. I have loved dinosaurs my entire life. I'll always love dinosaurs, and just prehistoric animals like mammoths and just everything like that. They're so incredible creatures. It's like, yeah, they're just truly amazing, and I'm so glad that we finally have this game and I can finally play it, and I want to share it with you guys because I am so excited about it. It was very overwhelming though, to be honest. Like I said, like it's a lot to get used to, and there's a lot of stuff lacking in the game as well. Like, it is early access, so of course there's gonna be things that are missing and not fully developed yet. Like the creatures that I always forget the name, but the exhibit-looking creatures, they actually get removed once you reload the game. Like, you can place them and like add them, like you saw me doing now. Like, I'm adding them to the game and they show up in the trees. But once you like close the game and open it up again, they are gone. Like, you have to keep replacing them again, and it's like a whole process, because like I had to like exit the game and enter the game because I had some recording issues. Like, you might notice it later, like it's a little bit laggy because my recording software, it's been a while since I used it, so I kind of had to like adjust the settings again and like get it to work properly. So it might be a bit laggy, and I'm really sorry about that, but now it's finally working again. Like, I think I have like flawless quality now. You'll see it in my next video. We will actually be building for the mammoths, which I am really excited about. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm just really excited about this game. You can see me now placing plants around the whole fenced area, which I could have probably placed them better. Instead, I just kind of take a bush and like place it inside of the walls. I could have adjusted it more to look better, but like I said, it's like very overwhelming, and I'm used to in Planet Zoo you can't do that, so you have to like place them inside of the ground and like make them more like faded and disappear. But here you can actually make them look like they belong there, but it's just very like finicky and like a lot of details, and I'm just kind of trying to get used to the game and get used to the controls and like all of that stuff, so it's probably gonna take a while, but I tried, and I am actually really happy with how the enclosure looks like at the end. The animals they can fly. Like, in real life they could have, like, they're flying creatures, but I didn't build like a dome thing for them to like not be able to fly away. It's kind of like open, like you see now. The only thing is like the fence around that's like to stop guests from jumping in, but it's like I'm just playing like thinking that they wouldn't fly away because they live there, or their wings are clipped. Like in real life, a lot of the times with flying creatures, you can clip their wings or remove their feathers, something like that, to make them not fly away. And I was thinking it could just be something like that. But then there's also like an animation where one of them do fly around, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But I'm just saying that like I didn't want to ruin the whole like vibe of it by adding a dome thing around it, so I just keep like the single fence there. But I think it actually looks really good. It was also based off of a reference picture and I really liked it, so I think it turned out good in the end. I'm just really excited about it, and I hope you guys like it too. It actually took me close to almost 4 hours to complete this whole like building and the enclosure, but since it's two things, it kind of like about 2 hours on each. But it is kind of lacking, I feel like there could have been more, but it's also like very hard to just straight jump into a game and like know exactly what you're doing. Like I kind of had this plan and just kind of went with it, but I wasn't too focused on too many details. I was also just kind of getting used to the menu, the controls, what type of items there are. You can see me playing around with benches, trying to find the right ones. I do end up moving them later on because I think they didn't look that good, like right by where people are gonna be walking up. There was also this, I also saw this like, in this game, the guests, they can walk on the pieces. So like you don't have to have a path for your guests to walk there, which is really nice, except that on the fence I have there, the guests will walk on top of the fence. Because like they can walk on pieces, but they're walking on my fence, which should block them from not going into the habitat which they are walking on. So it's kind of like, it's not really perfect. I'm hoping they'll have some type of like fix for that in the future, but I don't know, because it's kind of like if they can walk on pieces, then they should be able to walk on all pieces, not just like, yeah. But hopefully that gets fixed, or I just have to like change how it looks, like make it taller or something, so like they maybe can't. But here you see me actually changing how the building looks, because it was way too big compared of the size of the guests. Like it was just huge. It was like a whole huge castle. So I tried to make it a little smaller, which is actually quite nice because you can change so much of how the pieces look like. You can just scale them down, make them bigger, make them smaller. So many adjustments, so fast, so easy. It's really nice and really smooth to work with. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, although it could have been more details, but I'm happy with how it ended up turning out. And like I said, it was just like my first build, and I'm not really that great with buildings in general. I usually tend to make habitats for animals. That's more like what I like. And I also usually play in franchise, not so much sandbox, which this is sandbox. The only thing I played before I started this build was the introduction, like preview, franchise, whatever you want to call it, in the game. And it was just like 20 minutes of telling you how to move around and a little bit about fixing the park that they had created. And it was kind of just not a lot of getting like familiar with the game, really. It was just like kind of showing you controls and stuff. So this is the first of me actually making something, which is why it's not really that great. But yeah, as you can see, I just took the other roof piece and I flipped it and I placed it on the other side, which was really satisfying, to be honest. I really liked working with it, and I'm really happy with it, to be honest. So yeah, and if you do want me to create a habitat for a specific creature, or a dinosaur or a prehistoric animal, like the mammoth, but I said I'm already gonna make that in the next episode, so you will get the mammoth. But if you want something else, like the Smilodon, or maybe the T-Rex, which everyone wants to see the T-Rex, who doesn't love a T-Rex, and which I'll probably create a habitat for. I'm really excited about it. I also really want to start recording for Planet Zoo again, so if you want like see that instead, or that as well, I'll try and record that. I really have a lot of free time right now. Like, I don't currently have a job, so I'm kind of home most of the time, so I'm really feeling like making videos again. Like, it's something I really enjoy, and I just updated a little. I made this intro, you probably saw it at the start of the video. I made like a little animation. It's one of the first times I've tried to make a little animation. I thought it was really fun. I hope you like it. It's kind of like short and simple and just like getting it out there, and you see the intro, you know it's my video, and then it just continues. So I really like that. And I also have updated my end credits a little bit. It used to be like just a full screen showing like my next video or subscribe and all that stuff, but now I kind of made it a little bit blurry, just so you get a little bit of like the last snippet of the video still in the background instead of it just being plain. I thought that added more to it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, and like you can see it at the end of the video, and then it'll also give you like video suggestions and like stuff like that. Here you see me adding a roof inside of the building, which is something I actually really don't do, but I thought it looked really weird just having it like showing the roof, so I thought having a ceiling would help. And I end up putting the ticket boxes like kind of inside of the building, but like more by the entrance, because I feel like that really helped. Like now they're kind of just standing out in the middle of nowhere. You can see me now putting them inside, and I feel like that just kind of makes more sense, even though I was thinking like how would they close the doors like when people are coming, like they're in the way, but you can't really have doors. I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of like just a playing around thing. I feel like it looked nice, and I'm happy with it, so I just went with it. Now I'm creating a custom sign, or like just a sign in general. It was really difficult. I don't usually make custom signs. First I'm trying to find pieces, which by the way is very hard when it's a new game. Like I had no idea where all the pieces were and which ones to use. But I found these little like button things to hang, and I thought they were really cool, so I'm using them to hang it up on the pole. I'm making like a welcome sign. I had a reference picture, and it looked a lot better in the reference picture. Like the reference picture was really, really nice, but I wish there was some type of billboard, because then I could create it on my iPad and make the actual like welcome and make it look really, really good, and place it like on a billboard as like a pole flag thing, instead of using all these pieces and stuff, because then I feel like it's not the same thing. Like I feel like it just looks fake, and especially when the characters, like the humans, they look so realistic. I feel like it kind of just ruins it when the signs are so like plain looking. I wanted to do more with them, but I didn't know how, and I didn't really know what to do with them. So I kind of just went with it. It turned out fine. Like it gives off the vibe it was supposed to, but yeah, it works, I guess. But now I'm just working on the barrier of the path that goes around the habitat, like making the signs, and then I'm gonna place the benches, and then I add like a trim around, which could also be benches, but I placed the benches there instead because it looked better, and it was also more similar to the reference picture, which I really, really liked. Yeah, and it was really hard picking colors for it too, actually. I was kind of struggling with that a little bit. And then I added that glowing thing, like the logo for Prehistoric Kingdom. Like I stretched it out to fit it, like as it was a photo, but that looked kind of dumb and I didn't like it, so I ended up removing it. And here I'm just typing out "thank you for coming," which, yeah, it was kind of just like a struggle making these signs, although it is fun and I really like how they turn out in the end. I wish that there was more to them. I end up placing these little like logos for all the shops they have in the game instead of that Prehistoric Kingdom logo because I felt like it looked better than a stretched out logo, because it's kind of like shows all the stores they have in the park, and I feel like that made more sense. But I don't quite like it still, really. I mean, it's fine. It works, and I'm happy with it, and it was just like a beginning test thing. So, yeah. Here I am placing the border I was talking about. And it's really nice because you can just like place one side and then like just flip it to the other side and then adjust how you want it. Which I guess you can do that in Planet Zoo too, but here you can actually stretch them out. So if it's like not like adding up as you saw there, I just stretched it out a little bit and it works instead of having to like add a completely new piece. Which it worked out really nice. I really like how this whole entrance circle thing looks like. Usually I tend to just make really square zoos, and it doesn't look that great because it's just like square and plain and boring. But I wanted to try something different, and I feel like this whole like entrance area with like the circle and were the Microraptors? I think they were the Microraptors. The Microraptors in there. I really like how that whole thing turned out. I was originally planning on putting another dinosaur in there. I don't remember the name right now, but it's like the smallest one they have. A taco. I forget the full name, but the nicknamed them tacos. And I was originally supposed to put them in there, but I made 3 and I placed 3 in there, and it looked like a prison cell or a like Roman fight pit. So I scratched that idea and just made it into a Microraptor habitat instead. I also feel like that makes more sense as well, because they're kind of like an entrance animal. Like the first thing you see, like it's not like a animal really, it's more like just like this tiny little creature that sits on a branch and flies around here and there. Like, I really like it, and I'm glad that I managed to record it, because it's been like a lot of the times when I make something and I'm really happy with it and I wish I could share it and like show like just what I managed to make and like share it with you guys, but I always forget to record. Because when I start making something, I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be something quick, like not good looking, and I'm not gonna like it. But then it ends up being really good, and I regretted not recording it. But I finally recorded it, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you guys. It's almost time for the speed build though, so thank you or the end credit scenes. And I'm really happy you tuned in, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.